Okay, 1871, good luck. Let's just challenge for the centre. 460 games for my opponent, just a little bit less than me, but enough to establish a rating. 150 in Blitz, only 11 in Bullet, so a relatively new account, but it's enough to establish your baseline. Now we can do this sort of structure, or we can try and challenge the centre. I think I'm going to do this because I want to just get castled, and I wouldn't care at all if he took their knight, of course. But he's playing this a little bit too quick, I think, so hopefully we might catch him up at some point, but it's a bit more difficult in Rapid, of course. Any moment you can just slow down and use your time. Ooh, so he's allowing us the chance to potentially push forward. If knight in, I think we just take, and that feels like it should be a good structure for us. Up, knight down, just hit the knight, feels good. Knight in, the rook could go up. I don't see any reason not to push there. Gives us a potential nice square for our knight. He has come forward. So I think we just hit the knight and rook up if he comes in. He's gone back. He's just blitzing out the moves really, really quickly. Let's develop our bishop. Okay, he's come in there as well, so it gives us a chance to push another pawn, or we can just simply take. I quite like knights myself over bishops. So is it worth doing to try and get rid of that? But it does give him a pawn that covers the square, but I've got a chance just to push on. Knight in trade. It's a little bit bold pushing on. So up, knight in takes, knight takes, say rook across. He's getting some activity, isn't he? But I don't want to leave his knight there. So I'm looking at knight across as well. It kind of concedes a bit of ground. Maybe bishop up's a move here. Yeah, I like bishop up actually. If he pushes forward, I'll just take, but it means if his other knight moves, I can trade the bishops off. And I've still got a chance to push, but without there being an immediate potential hit to my rook. And if a knight comes in, I'm quite happy just to trade. We can trade the bishop as well. That feels like it's relatively stable. This pawn obviously could be a bit of a problem. He has come in, so we'll take and see what he does. He goes with the bishop. So I assume I want bishop up to challenge this now. Either way you take, the queen covers. Knight moves I can take. So let's just hit the bishop. Okay, knight moves I can just simply trade, and then I can try and work on this. So I think I want rook across. I can always step up if the bishop comes this way. Then try and push forward, but not easy. Has indeed gone there, so I'll shuffle the rook. Potential to take if he leaves the knight there and give him an isolated pawn. I need a pawn push at some point as well to give my king a bailout square, so his knight's gone back. Okay, if he comes in here, do I do this first? I don't think I like that. I think I play my holding move now then. Does it matter which pawn I push? He's got the light squared bishop. So maybe g6 is better, but he's got a knight as well. I think I want to move the rook over first, just challenge the e-file. Knight in I can take here. I can just drop the queen back somewhere, not here or where of the bishop. Oh, he has done that, so let's just drop the queen back and create a threat. We are a minute down on the clock now. He's playing really quickly. So is it the time to kick the knight now? I think it might be. Let's kick the knight and then try and just push forward, see where he goes. I still need to push one of these so I don't blunder the back rank mate. And I like the idea of the h-pawn generally, but he's got a light squared bishop. Now do I just push on here? I'm going to push on now because I might not get another chance to. I don't know. Let's not pre-move. Bishop takes no. I'm going to take with a pawn, yeah. A little bit of a problem, but it feels like we should be able to guard. Ooh, that gives us a protected pass pawn. We've got to try and push. Now if we can trade the queen, that should be good. We've maybe got rook across to challenge this pawn as well. I'm going to throw my holding move in, but is it the right one? Yeah, it's got to be this one. So I don't burn too much time. But there's always a potential for tactics here. We could have a knight sack or something. But I'm going to play rook across and try and pressure this pawn. Yeah, he's just pushed forward, so I can't actually take now because I'll lose my rook. Or can I? Take, here. Take. I've got a pawn push, you see, depending on how he does it. Here, queen takes, take, rook takes, pawn up. I don't think it quite works for me. Let's play knight up, then hit the queen. Actually, yeah, it looks clean, doesn't it? Just a pawn push. Looks clean, just push the pawn, and he can't go back to stop it. But a rook comes across, my bishop will be pinned, but we will take back with a check or a pin. So that could be game over, it could be. So you just got to go through all the potential options that you've got and hope that you spot something. Okay, so he's come forward to hit the bishop. I assume I simply push the pawn here. Lose a bishop, gain a rook. He takes back. Then we can just take right. Yeah, it's got to be right to push. He has taken. So I can play a move like rook across first, or I can just take. I'm just going to take, then grab the pawn, I think. I could push on. Do I want to push on? But it feels like I should take. Oh, the knight's hanging as well, isn't it? The knight's hanging. So as long as I'm not going to blunder a rook or a checkmate, gain a knight, lose a knight should be a good trade. I just don't want to blunder some sort of attack on the rook, and I can't use one to guard another. I'm going to take the knight. A knight for knight trade should be good. I just got to make sure the queen doesn't have a way to hit the two rooks and one then can't guard another, or I blunder the back rank. Okay, so now we should be good to take back. And now this rook can waddle off forward somewhere, the queen guards the other. That's the issue with pushing the h-pawn, where he's got the light squared bishop. So I might have to spend another move pushing another pawn. But in principle, queen up and rook up and get rid of the his rook should be good. Now I've got queen across here, actually that should do it on the spot, shouldn't it? We guard a rook and we threaten to take his rook if he doesn't trade. It's still work to be done. I want the pawn on a dark square and march up the board, but he has got a light squared bishop. Okay, that pushes us forward. So as long as I can guard and then not forget about his bishop and get on a dark square, that should be good. And now just march up the board. But he's got a king to come across, so it's not a formality. Do I check and he has to block? Across, down, yeah, that looks good. Check and across. Now we're going to come and chase the rook and then try and march on. Maybe we can abandon the pawn. Okay, he's gone up so we can't now, so march on. So here, bishop down, I'm fine. Bishop there and there are covered, so I'm threatening to just push. But I've still got this potential back rank issue. It's very easy to forget about something because you just take it for granted that you're winning. And you just simply blunder the back rank. But, okay, you definitely can't take here, so we're going to march on again. So just march up and threaten the same thing again. So march up, but now he's going to have it covered. Oh, he's allowing the trade. What the heck? Take, bishop takes. No, it has to be right to take. Okay, now I just have to be sensible. I can leave them there all day long. So just bring the king up. They're on dark squares, so I don't have to worry about the bishop. Obviously, I've got this sort of idea, but I just want to deal with this issue first. But actually, let's come across and let's go up. Why not? His king's too far away, so we should get rid of the pawn for a bishop here, and it should be clean. It's a decent effort he's put in. He's just felt like he's just played the game that little bit too quickly for a 10-minute rapid game. Okay, let's just hit the pawn, and then pawn should be good. Just fix this structure. I don't think it matters whether I take or not there. Let's just bring the king round. Okay, now he has to concede ground. We can just take back. Well, he can't push there anyway, so he has to move the king. You can see he's a decent player. See, he's got the basis of a good game there. Just played that a little bit too quick for rapid. So I just want to avoid sloppy blunders now and just march down the board. There's nothing wrong with him playing on like this, just in case I do blunder a stalemate. It does happen. Let's hope it doesn't happen here. And that's going to be checkmate. So that's a good win. Yeah, he's just playing a little tad bit too quickly there, I thought. So let's see what the engine says, how we actually played it. 70 moves we've played for that. 70 moves, and you can see the move times there. But you see White's move times are much, much, much quicker than mine. You kind of know that anyway from the clocks that we had as the game went on. But too many moves, I think, where there's just barely any time used at all. I mean, in the end of game, of course, when you kind of essentially lost, you might just write the game off and say that doesn't really matter anyway. That's fair enough. So how did we actually play it? Oh, we've been better here and we've made mistakes somewhere. We've given a bit of an advantage away. +7 to +2, so that's a bit of a big mistake we've made somewhere. It's not flagged any bad blunders yet, but there might be some. No, 91% versus 88% accuracy. Centre pawn lost 27 against 40. My average is 32. But I've been much better here, and we've made some mistakes and not maybe played it quite as cleanly as we could. So instead of h6, yeah, that was a mistake. The engine's saying I'll just play queen up and create the mate threat. Wasn't even on my radar, just to create that checkmate threat. So obviously you can take your time in your own games and just go through all these moves, what the engine says. You can click anywhere on the graph that you see. It highlights, easy to see where you've gone wrong. So it's probably the same on the other ones. Yeah, it's because I've got this idea, queen up, creating a one-move mate threat. I just wasn't on my radar. I just didn't even look at that. So that's why I've just got some mistakes there. But still, a win's a win.